Hey guys, how's it going? Okay, look, I know that I said I wasn't going to do this again, but I'm painting the background first. But I have a plan. I'm less flying by the seat of my pants. I have a plan. The painting is going to be made up mostly of violet, crimson red, black, white, and just a little bit of wineberry and mauve just to break things up a little bit. So, background first. So it is super rainy today and really beautiful and cozy. What makes a cozy video? I mean, I've seen people paint and call their videos cozy painting. Is it just tea? Do they just have tea in the frame? Is it just music and less talking? What makes it cozy? I'm going to call my video a cozy painting video because it's raining outside. Does that count? Does it count? I even have a little faux fireplace. I can go get the faux fireplace. Does it count if you can't see the fireplace and it's just I who can see the fireplace? I'm the only person who can see the rain. We're going to call my video cozy. All right, moving on. So, I feel like painting and then immediately recording to talk about said painting or talk over said painting is such a weird thing and so hard to do because making art or painting or whatever is such an emotional roller coaster. Like, even if the piece isn't particularly poignant or emotional, the roller coaster of, oh man, I like this sketch. Oh man, this looks really rough. Oh, this is the ugly bit. Oh man, I screwed that up so bad. Just that up and down and up and down. By the time you're finished with a painting, by the time I'm finished with a painting, I just feel like I did a thing. I don't know how I feel about the thing. Do you like the thing? And a lot of times when I go back and look at paintings after I've had a little bit of separation from them, I can feel like, oh man, this looks really cool. But right after, whew, it's rough. Have you guys experienced that? Like finishing artwork and you just look at it and you felt so many things while you were painting it, you don't have the emotional energy to think objectively about what you just did. Is that hard for any of you? I definitely struggle with it. I usually try and give myself a little bit of space to come back to something later, but unfortunately, I'm a little behind schedule because our weather has been so nuts and it got so hot, and the office where I paint was sweltering, and then having lights on, man, it wasn't going to happen. So I'm recording literally 5 minutes after I finish this painting. But yeah, I just saw somebody post about that today. There was some post on Instagram, and they're like, and it was along the lines of like, oh, when you find something that you previously made and it looks way better than you remember it looking, something like that. I feel that so hard. I can relate to that. I think a lot of people relate to that. And it's not even that I don't like it. It's not that at all. It's that I'm trying to look at it objectively, but I'm still in painting mode. So I'm like, oh, I could do this. I could do that. I'm still seeing the possibilities of what could be happening on top of just not having the emotional ability to look at it and see it as a finished piece. I'm still in sport mode, as one would say when wearing Crocs with a strap down. Okay, quick story idea. She is a little vampire-y. She doesn't have fangs visible, but the overall feel is a little vampire-y, isn't it? So, story idea. Tell me how you feel about it. It's set up like a vampire romance novel, right? They're falling in love, everything is wonderful. He's a vampire, she's not a vampire. Or maybe the other way around. I don't know. I haven't thought that through all the way. They fall in love, they're going about their romantic business, and it's time to change her. And he goes to drain her dry, or she goes to drain him dry. And instead of, the blood swap, instead of bringing her back to life or instead of bringing him back to life, I have to pick a he or a she. I'm not sure which I'm doing yet. Let's say he for the sake of it because she is a vampire. No, you know what? Let's stick with she. This works out. So, she falls in love with a vampire, right? Traditional romance. They fall in love. He's going to turn her, blah, blah, blah. But instead of turning her, he just drains her dry and drops her to the ground and is like, you'll be with me forever. But I'm going to do what I want to do. He leaves her there, assuming that's it. But it's not. He drains her dry after getting her to fall in love with him. Maybe there's a magic system involved where, like, your donor has to be willing, and the more willing and emotional or in love with you they are, like the more strength or power you get from the blood. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Anyway, moving on. So she's done for. She's done. So he thinks. He goes about his life. It's been hundreds of years, and maybe he actually does fall in love with a human. And he's doing his thing. And originally her plan, because she's alive, remember, somehow she was saved. We don't know how. We'll find out later. She comes up. She decides she's going to get rid of her, the woman that he's in love with, and make him watch, because he's actually in love with. Anyway, so she starts stalking them. She pays a lot of attention. And then she starts to realize that maybe she's in love with his girlfriend, right? So what ends up happening, she approaches the girlfriend, tells her what happened, finds out with evidence, like hundreds of lifetimes, he has regularly made women fall in love with him, drained them of their life, and then moved on. And while he may or may not actually love her, she is no longer interested. She cannot love somebody who has just taken the life of so many women that he made love him. So the two of them, they fall in love, right? And they become a thing, and she changes her. I mean, I guess they don't have to fall in love. They could just be friends, but it'd be kind of nice if they fell in love, wouldn't it? That's kind of beautiful. And then they spend the rest of their existence following him, tormenting him, and eventually get rid of him. Is it too much? I think it would be an interesting story. Let's say that's her story. She met her end, but didn't, because she's a vampire. Help me figure out how. What do you think? How did she become a vampire? Was somebody else watching? Is there some other magic at play? Is there some other way to be a vampire? We can make our own lore. Who says we can't make our own lore? Every writer makes their own lore. Moving on. So they fall in love, and they become like what? A crime-fighting duo? I don't know. Anyway. There will obviously have to be, some sort of plot development where we find out how it is she survived, right? And also, we need some in-depth magic system explaining. Like maybe it's not just the act of giving blood that gives vampires life, but it's the act of willing donation that gives vampires life. This is a magic system. It doesn't have to be just blood for blood. Maybe you get something out of taking blood, right? Maybe it keeps you alive, but it doesn't necessarily keep you at your peak. But whenever you have a willing donor, there's magic to it. There's an extra oomph to the strength you get. So this guy's just going around making women fall in love with him so that he gets the power boost that comes with having somebody so willing and so in love with you, and then draining them all at once, right? There's got to be something about a willing donor. It's like you've heard all of these other fantasy stories and all these magic stories about how intent has a lot of effect on spells or magic, right? So why wouldn't it be the same for vampires? I think that would be a really cool idea. Thoughts, feelings, ideas? What do you guys think? Do you think that would be an interesting story? Maybe I should make something. What do you guys think? Who's a writer? I'm not really a writer. I'm going to have to figure out how to write. Maybe it's not just the act of drinking blood that keeps vampires alive and going. Maybe drinking blood, but having to take it will keep them alive, but maybe not as powerful or not as young. Ooh, let's throw some vanity in there. So maybe a willing donor changes how much power and youth and vitality you get from actually drinking blood. That could be very cool. How do you think I should explain her being alive? I think maybe we can have in our magic system some sort of deity. What do you think? Some sort of deity where she was drained and bitten, like that was enough. Or maybe somehow she'd had his blood at some point before he drained her and he wasn't aware of it. Ooh, we could work that out. Yeah, maybe she came across his blood. Maybe she licked an envelope that, I don't know, he got a paper cut on. Do vampires get paper cuts? I don't know. Let's say, for the sake of this explanation, that he got a paper cut and she went to go close an envelope and licked it, right? And maybe that's the night that he decides to drain her. Maybe that's how she got turned. I don't know. We got to work on this. Thoughts? Love to hear your thoughts. And then obviously these two lovely ladies have to have a story after, right? Because they can only torment him for so long. So here she is in all of her vampiric glory. I'm going to have to make her girlfriend now that we have a story. Let's work on it together. What do you think her girlfriend should look like? What do you think the bad guy should look like? I would love some opinions. Give me some opinions and I'll work on the artwork for it. If you guys can give me some ideas of what you'd like the girlfriend or the bad guy to look like, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you like my video, please like, subscribe. I'd love to see you here again. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, guys.